Welcome back to the Cossy channel. My name is Cossy. Welcome back to a brand new video. We have an exclusive story on Victor Gyökeres. Alex Crook, chief football correspondent at TalkSport, has just confirmed that he has received a message confirming to him that Gyökeres is going to be the striker Arsenal sign and not Benjamin Šeško. Also at the same time, Crook says that Gyökeres has told friends and family privately that he's going to be joining Arsenal anytime soon. At the same time, the Benjamin Šeško deal is actually stalling. Fabrizio Romano has confirmed that Arsenal are not willing to pay the 80 to 100 million euros that is being demanded of by RB Leipzig. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel as well. This is still going on and this is becoming juicier and more interesting by the day. I told you by the end of this month, we shall know where Arsenal are going to put their money. And there is also a story run by The Athletic as well that Arsenal are still juggling their funds and they're still trying to decide which is going to be the better deal according to the terms and conditions they have set as a club. And those terms and conditions include the price of the player, they include the future, they include the return on investment, and a couple of other things. So sit down, let's talk. Let's start off with that big story from Alex Crook as reported on TalkSport. He has just confirmed that he received a message about 4 hours ago, and that message was confirming to him that Gyökeres is the striker that Arsenal are going to be signing this summer and not Benjamin Šeško. Now, he doesn't give us a reason as to why, which source and what kind of reasons he was given, but he says Šeško is not the striker, but Victor Gyökeres, and Arsenal are leaning towards the Swedish striker rather than Benjamin Šeško. He's also said, which is very interesting here, that Gyökeres has told his friends and family privately that he's actually going to be joining Arsenal anytime soon this summer and not any other club. So there is a lot to talk about here. First and foremost, I've seen about two stories. Gyökeres has rejected another club. And this is according to Corriere dello Sport. He's rejected a move to Juventus, right? He's rejected a move to Juventus. He rejected a move to Manchester United a little bit earlier on this week. I reported that story. So Gyökeres, this is crazy. Gyökeres has turned down Juventus. That is a prime destination for a player like Victor Gyökeres. You're 27, turning 28 very soon. You're going to cost about 50 million pounds to about 55 million pounds. Juventus is a legendary club in Europe. Like, if you talk about Italian Serie A, if you talk about Italian heritage, Juve is one of those clubs that no player across Europe turns down. And yet, he's told Juve, I'm not going to join you. I'm not open to that position. That is the same thing he's told to Manchester United. I am not going to be signing for you. And I'm going to say the same words that I said about 5 days ago. Gyökeres knows that Arsenal are seriously in for him. There might be a little bit of doubt whether he's going to be the one. There might be a little bit of doubt of whether Arsenal can agree price with Sporting. But I can say this concretely. Arsenal have talked to Victor Gyökeres, and we have confirmed with Victor Gyökeres that he should wait for us. We are going to come back for him. Now, let's talk about the Fabrizio Romano update, because that is also there. Fabrizio said that Arsenal at the moment have not yet agreed personal terms with Benjamin Šeško. Arsenal have also not made any bids and don't have any agreements with RB Leipzig. At the moment, Arsenal are unwilling to match the 80 million euros to 100 million euros in the player's contract that Leipzig are actually asking for. And that actually gives us more evidence on the Gyökeres story. That gives us more energy to the Gyökeres story. Because he's cheaper as a player. I doubt that he's going to be asking for 300k. This summer, journalists have got this tendency of just blowing numbers out of proportion. They told us that Nico Williams is going to ask for 15 million. He's actually going for 7 million wages, right? Just 7 million. So I think the wages that are being quoted on Victor Gyökeres are being blown out of proportion. The truth is, the player wants to join Arsenal. And if Arsenal are giving him 130k, 150k, 180k, that is good money. That is significant rise from the 40k he's earning at Sporting to about 180k. He's going to earn more. He's going to earn something like 140k more than what he's earning at Sporting right about now. There is no way he's actually turning down that bid. And it now makes sense. Guys, it really now makes sense at the end of the day. Why would you go and sign Benjamin Šeško from Alexander Isak? That is the first question. If your number one target is Alexander Isak, we know the quality of Alexander Isak. We know the level at which Alexander Isak is operating. And we have been told this summer that Arsenal are looking to do win now players that can come in and make the club win right about now, right? And other people that are giving us excuses about Gyökeres, you know, he's 27. Gyökeres could play top level football at Arsenal for 6 years, and that's true. If you look at Harry Kane, he signed for Bayern, I think he was 30, and he has given them 2 wonderful campaigns, and I can tell you this, Harry Kane is going to have another 2 wonderful years on top of his game, and he's 34. I think Gyökeres can do that. I think Gyökeres is one of those players that can actually give you 6 more seasons from now until the age of 34. He's 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33. Actually, 6 seasons until he's 33. So if anyone is talking about the future, if anyone is talking about, you know, Gyökeres is for now and Šeško is the future, I understand. Šeško could give you 9 years. He could give you 10 years. But you do not have a guarantee that for 9 years, this guy is actually going to be good. You don't even have a guarantee that he's going to be at Arsenal. One, he's got a good resale value. But I don't think Arsenal are looking for resale value in this market. We are looking for win now players. If you think about the opening fixtures at Arsenal, right? United, Newcastle, Manchester City, Liverpool, Nottingham Forest, and Leeds. There is only one team, if we replayed these teams, there is only one team that I would say, give them back to me. And that's Leeds. Nottingham Forest had a very good season. They're in Europe. They're a decent side. Liverpool, Manchester United, those are very difficult stadiums to come to. And Man City and Newcastle, either way, whether you're going away or they're coming at your home, you don't want them as visitors, and you don't want to be, you don't want them as hosts as well. So if you're looking at such a fixture, and that is what you're beginning with, then absolutely signings like Gyökeres, signings like Rodrigo are going to be key, and they're going to be very important. But there's something that we've got to talk about, right? And that is the fact that Nico Williams is gone. So there's a theory that we talked about last time, and that theory was maybe Arsenal are looking at Gyökeres as a player that could be cheaper, and maybe that could be in line with the signing of Rodrigo. And maybe if Arsenal could sign Nico Williams, who's a little bit cheaper, we can go and sign Benjamin Šeško. Because there is no way Arsenal are going to spend £80 million on Rodrigo, and then we spend £70 million on Benjamin Šeško. Economically, financially, it might not be viable. So maybe Arsenal have now realized Nico Williams is going. He's going to Barcelona. We're not going to do that deal. We might as well just go and throw a lot of money on this Rodrigo deal. And if you sign Rodrigo for 80 million euros or 90 million euros, then you're left with about 50 million pounds or 55 million pounds. You can go and splash that on Viktor Gyökeres and go and do the deal. For me, it's a win-win. As an Arsenal fan, it's a win-win because I want to see Arsenal put up a lot of force on this window. I want to see Arsenal really react to the season that we had. Someone asked me a question in the comment section of the recent video I've done, that what kind of pain did we go through last summer? For me, the kind of pain I went through was wishing and thinking and hoping that Arsenal were in that position where we could go and win the league. And then watch a new manager walk into this Liverpool side and win the league unopposed, right? Because that was unopposed, honestly. Because whenever Liverpool dropped points, Arsenal dropped points. But not necessarily did Arsenal drop points every time, so did Liverpool. And that means that Liverpool, ended up with like, what, a 9-point gap, a 10-point gap on top of the table. It was quite embarrassing. We thought that was our season. And we said injuries, a bad window, and there were other reasons as well that we gave. So we have a chance to fix injuries. This summer, our players can rest, and we can also sign more players to beef up this team. Secondly, um, 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 we can sign better players as well and just add to the quality, add to the goals, add to the creativity of this team. I don't want us to give this chance away. I don't want us to blow this chance away. So the major stories are Gyökeres is telling friends and family he is going to Arsenal, and this is coming at a time when everything's literally falling up, falling in place. The Šeško deal is stalling. That's number one. The Nico Williams deal, which is cheaper, is actually unavailable. So whatever deal Arsenal do for a left winger, it's gonna be quite expensive. If we do the Gordon deal, I suppose that Gordon goes for 65 million pounds. That is still expensive. I suppose that Semenyo goes for about 60 million pounds. That is still expensive. I suppose that Rodrigo goes for about 70, 75, or 80 million pounds. That is still expensive. So I wouldn't be excited by Gyökeres telling friends and family he's going to Arsenal. But I would be excited because this news is coming at a time where everything is falling into place, number one. And also this news is coming at a time when it is right for us to do something, right? It's right for us to do something. We've waited for about 4 months for Arsenal to make their decision on the striker position. Gyökeres, Šeško, don't care. Just make a decision. And if it's Gyökeres, for me, I am happier. Because you know how much I like Gyökeres. You know how much I really rate the player. Now, with Benjamin Šeško, this is what I want to say. I think the Benjamin Šeško deal has been sabotaged by the Nico Williams deal. If it doesn't happen, I'm not saying 100% it's not happening. I'm saying if it doesn't happen, it's been sabotaged by the cheaper deals. Remember, Arsenal have been linked with about 3 or 4 very cheap deals, right? There is a new link on Noni Madueke that will do. I don't think Madueke comes very cheap, but I don't think it comes in for a hefty figure as well. But the Nico Williams deal as priority, and maybe the Bino Gittens deal, those are 2 deals that Arsenal are hoping if we get Gittens or if we get Nico Williams, cheaper deals, then it's okay. We can go for Benjamin Šeško. We can splash a lot of money on Benjamin Šeško. But it's a very complicated deal, right? It's a very, very complicated deal. First and foremost, yes, he is a huge talent. But for 80 to 100 million, there must be proof. Like Alexander Isak signed for Newcastle at 60 million. There was proof. Enough proof that this guy was going to be something big. And eventually, he actually became something big. And then there is this thing of Šeško being the biggest and the best striker in the years to come. Where are people getting this? Yes, data might be suggesting that, but really? In a world where we have Haaland and Mbappe, in a world where we still have the likes of Harry Kane, you're telling us that, and Isak, you're telling us that Šeško is going to be the best striker in the world in the next 3 or 5 years. I'm not convinced really, because Gyökeres is still there, Marcus Thuram is still there, not Emi Martinez, but Lautaro Martinez is still there. So I think Arsenal might have realized going for a speculative talent that is going to cost 90 million euros, go for a proven talent that's going to cost 50 million pounds, and that is a much better deal. So the people who like Viktor Gyökeres, this is, I'm going to do the whole story. I'm really going to do the whole story. And of course, I'll give you the whole story on Benjamin Šeško as well, coming up shortly tomorrow, obviously, on your screens. But what I want to say is that Arsenal are making the right decision here. This is the right deal. If you took me out of bed, and if I took you out of bed, and all these absolute bloody, hooligans on the internet, if you took them out of bed and asked them, Arsenal are close to winning silverware, right? Would you sign for them a striker that has scored 95 goals in 100 appearances, or would you sign for them a striker that has scored 16 goals in, 30, 40 games? they're always going to choose the other guy. But if you tell them it's Gyökeres, then they will start, Gyökeres runs a lot, Gyökeres does this and that. Šeško is an Olivier Giroud. Šeško is another Kai Havertz. Šeško is another Marouane Chamakh. Is another Yaya Sanogo. We have seen enough of those at Arsenal. Let's go for a prolific striker. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel as well. Big important update. I'll keep them coming.